at 2 o'clock, our personnel, uniformed, and our Public Works Department and all sorts of social services agencies are descending on Tent City to dismantle it. And it wasn't because of the article in the paper this morning. It was something I pretty well decided on last week. It is not prudent for us to allow that situation to exist where people are sleeping along the riverbank in 5-degree weather. And so we've decided to shut it down. As I read the article in the paper this morning, the one thing I realized about that is these people have talked about, maybe this is not a direct quote, they talked about being down on their luck, and I understand that, but there are plenty of places for them to sleep that are not in 5-degree weather. What we have found, and I have been down there and visited that area with Chief Webster, these are folks that don't want to obey any rules, and they also want to drink. And they want to drink, they want the ability to drink around the clock. And that's their business. They just can't do it there. And there's been all kinds of people that have tried to help them, and people have taken stuff, some friends of mine, that have taken a lot of things to them with regards to sleeping bags and lots of food, but we cannot continue to allow this situation to exist. So we're going to have, now I can promise you right now, there's probably 20 to 30 people down there that are from all different places and agencies, including ours, that are going to be there to dismantle whatever exists down there. I met with Waste Management this morning. I think they have been very tolerant, and this is not their idea, even though we asked for and received a letter directing those people that they're trespassing on their property, because Waste Management is concerned about whatever liability that they might expose themselves to by allowing those folks to stay there. And they have had them disconnect their electrical wires in plugs that are on their property and put in their own plugs. They have also, people have dropped off firewood down there, and they have to build fires, I guess, to keep warm. Well, what if they set the woods on fire? We can't take a chance on that. There also may be gas lines down there, and we can't expose ourselves, or Waste Management can't expose themselves to the liability that might exist if there was some kind of explosion. I mean, people would ask, why didn't you do something about this? The perception is, as I read the paper this morning, that people are going to be asking themselves, can't anybody help those people? There are enough people that are down there as we speak that will be offering them beds to sleep in if that's what they want. And in fact, I'm not sure that's what they want. Finally, the one, those people are down on their lot, but the person that's taking the big brunt on this and the business is Foodland. And that's where I buy my groceries. I'm there once a week, and those people have overrun that place. They go in there and pretty well take baths at the sinks, and they are not, they don't treat that place well, and sometimes things are picked up that aren't put down in the same place that aren't paid for. So that's it. That's what we're doing. I'll be glad to answer any questions if you have them.
For people that won't leave when you guys go over there today.
It's trespassing. We can arrest them. We hope that doesn't happen. The question was if people won't leave, we can arrest them. We don't really want to do that, but we're going to try to get rid of them.
So if they continue to come back, they'll be charged with trespassing?
They can be charged with trespassing. Once again, we could have done this months ago. I don't know how long they've been. How long have they been there, Brent? Year or two? I mean, they've been there. They've been there a long time. We just can't continue to allow that to exist. WCHS Radio.
Yeah, you said there's a whole host of organizations down there right now in this booth.
3 of them. Did you tell?
Sojourners is there.
Sojourners?
Alston from Rourke Sullivan and, what's the other one? And Prestera, at
Re-
least.
And all those places have rules, though. When you go in those places, you can't drink in those places, and you have to obey the rules. In the men's shelter, we have people that were sleeping across on the concrete pad that's under the interstate bridge. I mean, they'll sleep there, but they don't want to go inside because they don't want to take orders. They don't want to obey rules. And so there's nobody in the city of Charleston that has to go without a bed or without a meal. It just doesn't happen. There's plenty of services, and that's why we have such a large group here, because there are plenty of services for those folks.
Do you know how many people are currently living down there?
I've heard between 20 and 30. I mean, that's what we came up with this morning. Do you know, Brent?
That's about right. Those are regulars, and right now they're saying there's 10 over there now.
There's 10 over there now. And that's a lot for this time of day, isn't it? You know, so.
Once you've taken these people out of there today, torn down Tent City, what things are you going to do in the future to make sure that they don't come back?
The big problem we have is not them actually coming back there, it's where they go. Because they will wind up on people's porches. And they will wind up somewhere. The one thing about them being there, and the one resistance I've had in my own mind all this time, was the fact that people think if you disperse a bunch of folks that have camped out like that the problem goes away. No, the problem just goes somewhere else. So that's what we're going to have to look for. What we'd like those folks to do is just to avail themselves of the services that exist. I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll wind up somewhere else, maybe spread out, maybe on people's porches, maybe in people's yards, and we get those complaints too, and we have to shoo them off porches. Anthony?
For the people that read headlines, and obviously you're the one standing up here making this announcement today, people are going to say the mayor is just picking on these people. People may say that. How do you respond to that?
This is my decision. It was made, I thought about it long and hard over the weekend. Originally, we had scheduled, last Thursday. The lobbyist for Waste Management has been a friend of mine for 30 years. And Pat called me and said, we've got a real problem here. And they're worried about their own situation. They're worried about those people. And Pat and his folks came here today. And so I just decided we're going to do it. And the responsibility goes directly to me. I made the decision. I had the power to do it, and I did it. If they think that, they're wrong. Because there's services that exist for those folks, and they have existed the whole time they've been down there. They're down there because there's no rules. And I understand what they want to do. They want to camp out and live like a commune, but we just can't do that.
This might be a question for Chief, I don't know, but will there be like additional police presence down there next?
That's a question
week or
for
so?
Chief. What's your question?
Might also be a question for Chief. Has there ever been any reports of violent crime or any deaths or anything happening in Tent City?
Not that I know of.
I believe in, yes.
Now, any crime that would have been committed by those folks wouldn't have been committed there. There's never been violence against each other. Or what if there was? What if there was one turned on the other and killed them? Why did you all let that place exist?
We have arrested people out of there with serious warrants before.
Yeah.
To the opposite of his question of why are you doing it, some people are going to ask why it took you so long.
That's a good question, and because I just put it off. I put it off for the reason I stated, that at least we knew where they were. Now you've got 10 to 20 to 30 people that are going to be dispersed out there. I think we've got a population of homeless in this city that runs, when I first became mayor, there's a little bit over 400. I think it's worse now, as you were. We had a population of over 400. I think there's more now. And because I think Charleston has become somewhat of a place to go for people that that need a place to go. And that's because of social services that are provided here, which are plentiful and very generous. And some of the people that are gonna be upset with this are friends of mine. And I can think of one, so, that owns a restaurant. She's not gonna be happy with me, but, you know, I regret that. But it was my responsibility, it was my decision, and I'll account for it.